Hi. So this is one of those broken ones stories. Okay. This girl asked me for it to be anonymous. So I'm not going to say her name or her username or anything or her URL. Okay. So she starts out by saying, I don't really know where to start, but my story started when I was 10. That's when I first cut. I knew from that age I had to be sneaky about it because I was afraid that my parents would find out. I'm 16 now, and I've cut nearly every day since then, all totaled up. I suppose there's been about 2-3 months of me not cutting for all that time. It scares me to think that one day I'll be pushed to the edge and will no longer be here. Then again, I've tried to kill myself on more than one occasion, so I think to myself, does that make me a failure, or am I just not meant to die yet? I don't really want to tell anyone the first thing that made me cut. It's like my biggest and deepest secret, so I guess there is mystery to my story, but I'll move on to when I was age 13. I met a boy. He wasn't like all the other boys. He was different. He made me cut more when I found out he was too a self-harmer, but my parents found out about him and wouldn't let me talk to him anymore. So that eventually fizzled out, and next boy I met, I was 14. We ended up staying together for 2 years, and we broke up last year at the beginning. I thought it was a perfect relationship. He seemed different from other boys, but in a good way. But it only took about a year for all that to change. His dad sadly killed himself, and after just a month of this, even though I was there for him every step of the way, he would become very aggressive towards me. He'd shout at me and make me feel worthless. I got to the point where I felt like everyone was against me. Alongside the grief he was giving me, I was also being bullied at school. I was completely alone and forced to be by myself all day. It started off with rumors that my so-called best friend had started. They spread around the school within a day, and it wasn't long before everyone was coming up to me asking if they were true. I tried talking to teachers, but the school pretty much refused to help. I've been threatened, had food thrown at me, been punched in the face, had my hair pulled. Gangs of girls waited for me after my lessons just so they would shout at me. My home life wasn't much better either, but it was a better escape than going to school. After months of this happening, one day I was on a train on my way home from London. At the time, I thought I was about to die. My head was spinning and I couldn't hold myself up. And worst of all, I couldn't breathe. I was rushed into the hospital where they took all kinds of tests. They couldn't find anything wrong with me, so sent me home. These fits happened for the whole week after this, so my dad had no choice but to call the ambulance out again. They did all the same things at hospital as they did the time before, and still found nothing wrong with me. That's when they pulled my dad aside, and that was the first time I found out I had anxiety. The fit I was having was an anxiety attack. My boyfriend continued with his ways. They seemed to get worse and worse to the point I was scared of him. I was even scared to leave him. The school also continued to do nothing, and I still continue to get bullied to this day. Although this doesn't seem a lot, my deepest secret is something no one should ever have to go through, but unfortunately I did. I still cut myself every day, even though I found a boyfriend who appreciates me and does care. My cutting is like an addiction. I can't stop, and I don't know if I ever will be able to. I've been offered so much help in the past, but my parents are too proud to let me enroll for it. But saying that they don't know about my suicidal thoughts or the fact that since the hospital visit I've also been diagnosed with bipolar, depression, and paranoia. I know some people are a lot worse off than me, but if I could inspire just one person to not cut, I'd love that. When you first start cutting, you think you'll be able to control it, but it's not long before it controls you too. That was the first time I read that. I skimmed over it a bit the first time I read it, but that's really powerful, and I hope she inspires you guys not to cut, because cutting is really not a good thing to be addicted to. It's like all you think about is cutting, and you don't even worry about anything else that's happening in your life. And for the girl I'm doing this for, I hope you stop, because I hate hearing about how depressed someone is, but I'm making all these videos so I can try to raise awareness, I guess, because more than 3 out of 5 people suffer from depression, and that's just a statistic. I can't say that word. Statistic. Okay, that I just made up, but it's probably true. I really wish everyone would just not do it anymore, okay? Because everyone loves you, and even though it doesn't feel that way, you do. And I'm going through the messages I'm getting on Tumblr, okay? There's this one girl, I don't think she wants it to be anonymous because she sent it to me. She said her name. She said, my name's Mackenzie. I started self-harming because it seemed like the only way to feel release, the only way for me to control the ridiculous amount of pain in my life. It just felt like no matter how hard I tried or how good of a person I was, everything around me was falling apart and I had no control. I've been clean for a few months now. I'm still struggling with anxiety and depression, but things are getting better. Slowly but surely. She said things get better, and she said stay strong. I was only going to make this video for the first person that I did, but it turned out not being that long, so I'll try to do 2 people at once, okay? But continue to send me your stories because I like to read them out loud and raise awareness about more than a few people do this, okay? So everyone stay strong. I love you guys. Bye.